Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Elliot, Apartment Bartender, here at WSWA 76 at the bar studio, mixing up some of my favorite drinks. I had the opportunity to go around, taste the industry, and explore the convention, and some of my favorite spirits and emerging brands that I came across. One is Old Elk Bourbon with Old Elk Distillery. I might be a little biased to that. I'm based in Denver, Colorado. They're up in Fort Collins. And then Grander Rum, which is an amazing Panamanian rum, really fresh. All the sugar cane's grown on location, and it is a rum that's perfect for sipping on its own and even mixing in cocktails, which also for the bourbon can be said for that too. So, one of the things that I'm going to focus on here is an old fashioned. An old fashioned is a classic cocktail that's classic for a reason, kind of stands the test of time. Personally, it's the cocktail that I started drinking when I got into everything. There's a bar in Chicago, Billy's Sunday. I went there. It was the first time I saw clear ice. It was the first time I had an old fashioned, and it kind of made me fall in love with the world of spirits and cocktails. So traditionally, an old fashioned is bourbon whiskey or rye, if that's your preference. Some sugar, some aromatic bitters, stirred up over ice, and then garnished with an orange. Same with rum. Traditionally, if you want to not go with bourbon, if you want to go with rum, you can make a rum old fashioned. An old fashioned is one of those cocktails that you can really get creative with. You can get creative with the syrup, you can get creative with the bitters, all for the purpose of introducing different flavor profiles into the drink. One of my favorite things to do is to split the base of cocktails, because I'm a big fan of rum and I'm a big fan of bourbon, so why not have the best of both worlds? So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to do 1 ounce of bourbon, Old Elk in particular. And sorry if I'm spilling a little bit. Don't worry, I'm gonna lap it up off the countertop after the video cuts. And then we have 1 ounce of Grander Rum. And I'm a really big fan of mixing rum and bourbon together. There was a tiki bar in Arizona that I used to do some work at, and one of the things that they really did was mix bourbon and rum together in a lot of the cocktails, and it just infuses a lot of different flavors. I'm going to be adding a bar spoon, or alternatively a 1/4 ounce of syrup. And again, so when you're doing the syrup and incorporating the syrup, one of the things that I really like to do is experiment with different flavors, especially rum and bourbon. You can think about a pineapple syrup. That's one of my favorite things to incorporate. You can think about doing a demerara syrup, which meshes really well with darker spirits. And then going to use the bitters that are in hand. Bitters, for people that are not too familiar with bitters, they are described as the salt and pepper of the cocktail world. I like to go a step further and just say, it's that, when you have, think about when you're eating a food dish and you try it, it's good, but it's just missing something, right? That's where bitters come in. Bitters help to round out a cocktail and incorporate different flavors. Very potent, a little bit goes a long way. So with an old-fashioned cocktail, this is a stirred cocktail. A little education on that. Most cocktails fall into 2 camps. They're either stirred or shaken. An old-fashioned is a stirred cocktail. And the purpose of stirring the cocktail is just to help dilute. And when you are making an old-fashioned, just take into consideration that because it's a low-ingredient drink, the ice that you use is really important. So it's going to be strained into a rocks glass. And again, when I first got into the world of Apartment Bartender and spirits and cocktails, I saw some clear ice for the first time. It's not just for aesthetics. Clear ice actually dilutes at a slower pace, which is going to hold the integrity of the cocktail a lot longer. So just going to go ahead and strain the old fashioned over the cube. And you can't forget the garnish. The garnish helps to add some aroma to the drink, because as you go to sip, you want to have some on the nose as well. So we have an orange peel right here, and we're going to just go ahead and express that over the top of the drink. And you can discard that, or you can go ahead and drop that into the cocktail. So here we have a bourbon and a rum, a split-base old-fashioned with Old Elk and Grander Rum. I'm going to go ahead and give it a sip. That's a perfect cocktail. Easy, low ingredient, perfect to make for you and your friends. Cheers, guys.